Hi everyone, this is a different type of video I'm going to be doing. It's more of a speed paint story time that I've been inspired by a lot of YouTube artists, so to speak. So if you want to just mute my audio and just watch the art, you could do that. Or if you want to listen to this story, then just leave this audio on and we'll go on ahead. Since tomorrow is my second year of being a college sophomore, I decided to why not talk about my first year of college and how it was like. And honestly, I want to say it was basically a roller coaster of emotions. It's hard to describe, but essentially when it first started out, I was honestly confused on how to feel with the whole idea of having free time, because as most of you may have known, I am a art high school student, and in other words, my high school life was different from normal high schoolers. My schedule was I had to be at school by 8 a.m. and I had to get out at 5 p.m., which is sometimes rare to happen, since sometimes a visual artist, that's what my major was, I was a VA as they call us, we would sometimes get out later. Sometimes at one time in my senior year, I remember we stayed at Open Studio, and me and some other girl, we stayed at 9 o'clock, if I'm going to be honest, because our senior show was coming up and we were so freaking out because it was like a month ahead. They decided to do it on us, our deadline, and that was a freaking nightmare. But that's another story for another day. But basically, I was just used to always be busy. Always gotta work. And yes, I was snapping my fingers. And yeah, I was just so used to that busy schedule, hardly seeing my friends. My God, my friends who didn't go to the same high school as me, I was the only girl that just in my school to decide to go to art high school. That's in my city. It was a public art high school. But yeah, no, I was so used to this whole idea of not really seeing my friends from their other high schools. They get out a little earlier than me. Having to get used to hanging out really late, coming home really late from either hanging out or open studio. I was used to all that jazz. And when I came into college, it's like a whole other ballgame where I can make my own schedule and I just have to take this many required classes. I don't have to go over the limit and yada yada yada. And oh, I have classes on Monday through Wednesday, but I'm free on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which is actually my schedule this year. But yeah, that was just so weird for me. It was just, as somebody that was basically a workaholic for 4 years in art high school, just like do homework, do art, do this, do that. I was so used to that, and to go from there to that, it was so weird, and I honestly had no idea how to feel about it. Part of me was like, whoa, this is cool, but the other part of me was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm so too used to this busy schedule. It's feel weird. um, it's really strange, honestly. And basically, you go from teachers saying you have to do your homework, you have to do this, you have to do that. From that to they don't care. I don't want to say it like that, but it's essentially that's what it is. It's basically where if you messed up, it's your fault. Oh, sorry, that's my computer. Gotta charge. But basically, you mess up. It's your fault. You're in charge of you. They essentially treat you like an adult over there, which makes sense because I know what some of you are gonna say. Oh, 18's not. It doesn't mean you're an adult. You're still a teen, or yada yada. It's for me. To them, it is. To them, you're an adult. You're an adult, and they just essentially expect you to know what to do and that you got it. If you don't, and then just speak up. If you don't want to speak up, then you're on your own, so to speak. But yeah, I had to go process that, and I had to process the fact that this is in somewhere else. The college I was in, it was in downtown, which it wasn't that horrible, honestly. If anything, the only bad aspect about it is parking if you drive. Downtown driving is horrible here in Chicago. It's basically like how do I describe? I guess you could say it's almost. I don't know about New York. I heard New York's worse, but that's probably the only downside. But other than that, it's not bad being in downtown. You get to see the nice Christmas lights around Christmas time. You get to be by the tree, which they would always hang up by Christmas time. And honestly, some my friends admit that I'm kind of like lucky to have a college in downtown, since I could just literally go to like Staples and get whatever I need, or which is literally like down the block of my college, or I could just go to Target, which is super huge in downtown. It's so many floors. Or I could just go to a Blick, but just down the block. And also the bus that would drop me off by my house is there. So that was one of the upsides. I would say the only downside that I ever faced in my college is, honestly, which I go to a community college, if none of you guys know this. Honestly, the only downside is the professors, which the ones that I have weren't honestly that awful. There were a few that kind of like, I was iffy about, but overall they weren't that bad. Majority of them do care, and I would have to say the one professor I remember having was for my, I think it was like English 101, yeah, English 101, and it was 197. It was like a hybrid class where you get to do computers and also write. You have to go to the class and you do it on the computer. It was fine, honestly. The teacher wasn't even that bad. If anything, she was just really strict, honestly. Strict and all made a big deal when it comes to grammar and whatnot. I had to learn that the hard way, sadly, but I was barely able to manage to pass that class, but still, I still passed. I was good, even though my GPA had to take a hit, but that's fine. I could thankfully fix it, which I did. Honestly, that class was probably I had fun in, mostly because I got to see one of my old classmates. Well, actually, they were my boyfriend's old classmate from his grade level. I recognized her because she was from his advisory, and I remember when I saw her face, I was like, "Do you look familiar? Have we met before?" She's like, "Wait a minute, I recognize you. You're the one by so and so, hanging out with him all the time, right?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." And it was great. It was great seeing her, getting to know her. She was a dancer, I believe, and honestly, it was nice getting to talk to her, hang out, get to know what's the dancer life, so to speak, knowing what's up with her and how she's planning to transfer. Because honestly, when it comes to dancers, I never got a chance to really go in depth with how they always do their stuff. All I knew about them was that they're always on point, and from what I understand, their college experience when it comes to applying, their parents were from what me and a friend of mine saw on college night, they're very like strict and very like, I never seen this show Dance Moms, but from what I understand, those dance moms are crazy. Not at all. No offense to anyone that's a dance mom. I'm not saying all you guys are, but very, very like that. Very strict, very like, I want to make sure my kid's successful. And works in the, I don't know, Joffrey ballet. I heard that's a super big deal. But no, I had fun in that class. I loved film and literature class. That was super fun. We get to watch movies, talk about the movies. There were some movies I'd never even heard of that were super cool. We especially got a chance to talk about Star Wars, I remember. Mostly about George Lucas, but still, that was cool. I still need to watch the classics. I'm sorry to all my viewers that are into Star Wars. I still need to make time for that. Oh, Lord. One of the classes I had a hard time with, I would probably say it was mostly because of the fact that I was horrible with my schedule. I'm not gonna lie, because of the whole, like, they take out, it's laid back and whatnot. You're just free to do whatever you want. It was so much for me to process that I kind of sucked at my schedule. Also, the thing about me was that I thought for some reason that just because in my high school I was like getting A's and B's and I was in honors and in AP I was like little Miss Perfect student, like, nothing can touch me. Nope, I'm perfect. And I know that sounds like I'm condescending, but I'm gonna be honest, my mindset was kind of like that when I entered college. I kind of thought, like, I'm invincible, nothing can touch me. Which, again, I know it sounds like I'm a condescending person. I'm not, I swear. It's just that, I don't know, I wasn't thinking straight. Um, but yeah, I remember that, and because of that, I thought I could do whatever I want. I could just go on the internet, just hang out in Discord all day, and talk to people online or whatever, in chat rooms, and watch YouTube, and just do this and that. Yeah, no, I got smacked in the face with reality because of that. Oh goodness, it was not fun feeling, realizing like, oh crap, I'm in a hole. I better dig myself out, or that GPA of mine, that's gonna take a big bad hit. And I do not want to know what's it like to be, what was it called? I can't remember, but it's just some form of, you have to take certain classes to fix your GPA. Also, my scholarship would have been at risk, because my scholarship has to deal with, you have to have at least 2.0, and if it was lower than that, they take it away, and I don't want to imagine that happening, because as most of you may know, my parents can't afford to pay college. I have to get financial aid and scholarships and find some way, because obviously my parents can't pay for it, because, yeah, we're not that type of family, so to speak, that could pay. But yeah, that was so far overall my first year. My fall semester was okay, even though I did, once again, I was horrible on my schedule and I dug a hole, so to speak, but I managed to get myself out in the spring semester, even though I had to deal with, in between, some drama, which honestly was annoying. One of them being my group team, so to speak, that I had to do for a project. Honestly, half of them were good, which was the one that the dancer and also another girl that I befriended they were good. They helped me out. We had to do like a PowerPoint. I could make another video about it, honestly. But basically, yeah, they were good, but the other two weren't really helpful. They didn't really help out much. And when they did, they made it worse. But I'll go more in detail that in probably a next video. I remember though, in the one drama I found stupid and annoying was that on the end of the year, and not end of the year, but end of the fall semester. The end of the fall semester, when professor talks to you one-on-one about basically like if you pass the class, if you fail, what we're gonna do next, yada yada yada. Basically, while we were waiting for that, or actually no, I was just walking upstairs through the escalator, because yeah, my school has escalators. Excuse me. So when I was getting up the escalator to my floor of where my English 101 197 class was, I am not gonna lie, when I came in, I was getting these text messages from one of my friends. We'll call her Steph. And we'll just call the other girl Liza. There. But anyway, Steph and Liza. So Steph was telling me that Liza was complaining, saying that we would ditch her during our lunch breaks, which was 10-minute lunch breaks, and she would also like talk about how I would ignore her or whatever and whatnot, and not really want to talk to her or whatever. Let me just say, I am not amazing at socializing. This is a fact. Unless I know you or I recognize your face, like I did with the dancer friend, I'm not gonna be able to talk with you unless I recognize you from somewhere that I was also there, so to speak. So I don't know where that came from, because honestly, I'm quiet, I'm reserved. Everybody knows this about me. If you want to talk to me or something, then yeah, just go on ahead and try to talk to me. I will try my very best to respond back without sounding like a stuttering, nervous wreck. But no, yeah, I didn't understand where that part came from. Then the part about the whole, like, we ditched her during her 10-minute lunch break. Oh, Lord, I got a little agitated and annoyed by that, because it's like, girl, we have 10 minutes. What do you expect? We have to literally run to 7-Eleven to get whatever snacks we wanted. Or we would do that, or we would just say, screw it, let's just go upstairs to the vending machine. But no, when it comes to those 10-minute breaks, me and the dancer understood that, and I mean, even Steph eventually learned, like, 10 minutes is not enough, but you just have to work with what you got and just, you know what, just run. And this is, I'm saying me and the dancer are used to it because back then in the art high school I said back then in that art high school, we were given breaks. We were given 10-minute breaks. So I already know what's it like to have those 10 minutes. You know, make a run for it to my locker and just get a quick snack, or just go downstairs to the bathroom or upstairs, whichever stairs. I'm used to that, or even just a light sprint. I learned that from my first year how that works and how that runs, since teachers would get a little agitated, or they wouldn't really get too mad, but they would just say, guys, try to keep in mind 10 minutes of break. And, you know, and it's basically one of those things where it's like, if you need to do something during that break, do it now. And yeah, and even the security guards in that school were super used to seeing us, like, running around trying to get something from this other art room that's for a panel or whatever. Oh lord, get it for a panel, or I'm getting my snack of M&Ms in my locker. And the dancers, I don't know, I think they were given like 10 minutes of break, but it's usually like, I know they had changing times where they had to change out of their leotards or whatnot, and then, you know, do the thing. But yeah, we were very used to that. We already know how that worked, so we learned that. Now, when it came to Liza with that, I kind of learned I did at one point went to get lunch with her, and it was to get it was like at a Dunkin' Donuts to get some donuts or whatever. When we went to the Dunkin' Donuts, it took us 5 or 6 minutes, if I'm gonna be exact, or I think it was actually 8, because what happened was that she would talk to her friend, apparently, and I was just standing there like, girl, can we just go already so I could get my food? Or, you know, a snack so I don't starve in class. And no, they would go on and on talking, I don't know about what. I'm not trying to come off as rude, but honestly, I was just really frustrated. But overall, that whole drama over that, I was just thinking, okay, you're just ridiculous. If you wanted to be my friend that badly, not trying to get it to sound rude, but that's basically what it came off as to me. If you wanted to be my friend that badly, then just literally walk up to me and talk to me and actually try to interact with me and maybe ask for my phone number to text me or whatever. I know that's basically what happened in my lit and film class when I met another Kato, apparently. She talked and texted me, and we honestly got along fine, and we got along well. And again, it was because she came up to me and asked if I wanted to be her partner, and this like dialogic journal we had to do where we basically wrote stuff and talked about stuff we were doing in the class, and then talk about what we're doing outside of class. We honestly got along great. I ended up enjoying her company and whatnot, sitting next to her in class. But yeah, the way Liza handled it was just so childish. Even my dancer friend agreed. She was like, we're not her parent. I don't know why she's making a big deal about ditching her. If she wanted to come along, she needed to, like, you know, hustle. And I was telling her, like, yeah, I know. It's just so stupid. I honestly want to go off, but it's not even worth it, you know? She's like, yeah, it's not worth it. But yeah, my spring, honestly, semester it was not the greatest, but at the same time, I did enjoy it, mostly because I got a chance to understand how to animate using an Adobe Animate. Sorry, English. Yeah, I got a chance to understand it, learn about it, all those fun stuff, which you guys got a chance to see. And yeah, my spring semester wasn't the greatest, but I enjoyed it. It all made up because of Lit and Film and also Adobe Animate, and also the fact that I got the chance to travel with my boyfriend to Cali, which was super fun. And I could probably talk about that if you guys want me to. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you want me to do more of these, go ahead and comment below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!